Hello guys, this is Timothy Holmes from Legacy Network USA. I'm excited about this training video that we're putting together for you guys. This is for store owners and people that have store owner access. And let me start by saying, first of all, we really appreciate you selling our products and services to your customers. That means a great deal to us. And what we want to do is to be able to effectively train you on how to sign up an Excellular service without a lot of headache, without a lot of having to wait on approval from us. Anything that can be more convenient for you and your customers, that's what we want. Everybody wins when we put people in that type of situation. So we want to make sure we do that for our representatives and for our store owners. And so this is going to be a very brief training, and it's specifically for signing up inactive phones. These are phones that people may have gotten off of Craigslist, eBay. Maybe they bought a phone from you. Maybe they bought a phone from our website. Maybe they just had an old phone laying around the house that's inactive. We want to show you how the right and wrong way to sign up that service to our Excellular network, so that you don't go through a lot of headache in front of the customer. You know, one thing that I hate is when I'm dealing with a sales rep and they're trying to sell me on a product or service, but they're not really competent on how the product works or the company that they're trying to represent. That makes me a little apprehensive about doing business with them. So we want to make sure that we avoid that at all costs and show you exactly what you need to do to sign up your services. So of course, the first thing you want to do is to log in. It's going to ask you to put all your personal information here to log into your back office. Alright, now here's a word to the wise. Sometimes, and on some computers, the system has been known to kind of boot you out of the system prematurely before you're done. So many times what I'll do is I'll log out and then I'll log right back in, because the second go around, you never have to worry about ever being booted out of the system prematurely. Alright, now you're going to scroll to the bottom. Now what we're going to do first is really the most important thing that needs to be done, which is the POC swap. Now the POC swap is for Sprint customers. Okay. Now let's say you're signing up a service that's going to go on Verizon's towers. What you would have to do is, there's a free website here called checkesnfree.com. You would just put the ESN number in here to check the ESN. But if you're signing up a Sprint customer, then of course you're going to do it at this POC swap right here. Now this is why this is so important. When you don't do a POC swap or check ESNs, here's what you got to know. Every phone is not compatible with our service or with our network. Okay, so what happens is, if you don't do a POC swap, we end up charging the customer for their first month of activation, and then we end up having to refund that customer on the back end once we find out that their phone is not compatible. Now here's the problem with that. Every time that happens, every single time, it costs the company money. And it may not necessarily be a lot of money, but you got to think, when you got hundreds of store owners, maybe even thousands, this could create a huge expense to the company that we do not want to pay. And if you consistently try to sign up phones that are not compatible with our network and you keep costing the company money, eventually we have to pull your store owner access and you have to go back to the old way of signing up services, and nobody wants to deal with that. You don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with it. We want to make it as convenient for you to run your business as possible. So you want to make sure that you do your POC swap. So what you do, you pull off, I have a little flip phone here. You want to pull off the back of it and get your ESN number off the back. And just type it in, 268 435 589 0521 0981. As you can see, I was a little slow about putting the number in because you don't want to put the wrong number in, and it's very easy to do. You don't want to put the wrong number in. In fact, I think I've made a mistake here. You don't want to put wrong numbers in, because when you put the wrong number in, it's going to of course tell you that the phone is not compatible, and you could lose a customer that you actually could have had simply because you made a little error in putting the wrong number in. So you click go. That's an example of what happens when you put the wrong number in. Alright, let me do that again, 268 3545 8905 2109 81. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, I put the right number in and it says results. Okay, this phone is compatible with our network. So you press OK. Then you're going to go to add order. All right, it's going to ask you one more time to put that same ESN into the system. 2684. Two 10981. All right. Okay. Now the next step is you want to go to this drop-down menu right here, and you're going to choose a plan that's compatible with the phone that you have. Now, one thing you got to know is when you see Excellular Premium is talking about Verizon plans. When it says Excellular Standard is talking about Sprint plans, okay? So you want to choose the plan that's compatible with the phone you have. Again, this is just a flip phone. It doesn't need a data plan because it's not a smartphone. So you would click on that, and if you notice right here, this wizard appears, okay? You click on wizard, and it will show you the plan that you chose. Okay, it shows you the price. This, of course, doesn't include tax and fees and all of that kind of stuff. And you go to select plan. Enter in zip code 39501. Okay, now many times people are going to come into your stores wanting to transfer service, or in other words, they want to keep their same phone number. So you put a number in. I'm going to put a little fictitious number in. 892, and hit validate. Alright, now as you can see, all of this stuff pops up. You're going to have to put the old service provider's name in there. You got to put the correct account information. You're going to have to put the correct information that they submitted to their previous company. Okay, if they've moved and all that kind of stuff, no, they need to put their old address in that they had when they submitted this to the company, or they will not release this phone number. And this could turn into a huge headache for you if you do not put the correct information in here, because the company will not release the number if the correct information has not been put in. Now, I just wanted to show you that what it's going to look like, but this is not what this training video is going to be geared towards, because we don't want to go through the whole process of this. But all you would do is put all the correct information in, and we'll be able to port that number over. But for the sake of this video, we're going to choose a different option to just get a new number, agree with the terms, and continue. Alright, now you're going to put the customer's info there. You'll already see your team ID right here because you're on your website, and then you click proceed to checkout. Okay, now this is where you would put your the customer's personal information from their credit card. This is basically the last step. All right, but for the sake of this video, since we're not really activating a real phone, we'll use this e-wallet balance. And it says thank you for your payment. And so this is basically a completed process. So as you can see, when you have store owner access, it is much easier to sign up a service than doing it the old way, where they have to submit the information, an email sent to us, we approve it, send the email back to them, you go in your email, you click on the link in your email and fill out all of that stuff. It's a headache. This is so much easier for our store owners and people with store owner access. So we want to make sure that you understand this process, and if you run into any issues, instead of just guessing what to do, go ahead and call the office, call myself, call Mike Davis, call Mike Kalen, and make sure we can answer questions for you so that you can do it and do it right, so that we don't run into any headaches down the road. That's it for this training video, guys. Thank you all for tuning into it, and we'll be glad to assist you in building your business any kind of way that we can. Thank you, and God bless.